Well, really, you can early vote in Georgia right now, as a matter of fact. But the primary is upcoming when you can actually go out and vote. Joining us now is a member of the Georgia House, J. Craig Gordon. And first of all, Brother Gordon, thank you for calling in. How are you this morning, man?
Man, I'm great, brother. I appreciate you having me. Thank you
Oh,
so much
no, of
for
course.
what you do
Don't
for the
mention it.
people.
No, don't mention it. It's important to have you because we got to talk about our Queen Stacey Abrams.
Amen.
How's the campaign going, man?
I think the campaign is going great. I think, in the words of one of the finest first ladies, we've ever had, when they go low, we go high. And I think that just based on her past performance and experience as Georgia's first, not just female but African American female as minority leader, in the great things that she accomplished in that tenure is a platform and a level of experience worth campaigning on. We don't have to make up anything. Like Jay Z said, the numbers don't lie,
Yeah,
and the facts don't lie. And I think what she's done in the past, speaks for itself in a state where the governor's mansion, the Senate, and the House have all been run by Republicans, for over a decade.
hmm
But she's been able to make sure that the House didn't lose any seats and compromise for the sake of the people, and our benefit when we had those opportunities.
well, let's unpack some of that because one of the shots that was taken against her by some of her opponents was that she actually um, didn't do anything. In fact, enabled some of the Republicans gerrymandering. Isn't that the case? Isn't that one of the things, the shots that people were taking against her? And that's just not true.
That's just not true. No, that's just not true. Matter of fact, if anything, under her tenure, we protected Democrat seats that during the gerrymandering process we weren't even supposed to hold, till this day. So we've grown as a caucus under her leadership versus any losses.
Um, and so that was a shot that was taken. Also, her opponent, Stacey Evans, is suggesting that she somehow also undermined Stacey Abrams did the Hope Scholarship. That's not true either, is it?
That's not true. No, in fact, Leader Abrams and a couple of members of the caucus were tasked to work with Republicans from a consensus standpoint when funds were low, and not only did we keep them from coming up with a blanket test that would have severely affected minorities. We were actually able to neutralize that and even bring back the early childhood pre-K program that had been cut to half day back to full time, which is, when you've got kids at age 4. They don't need half of a day's education to be competitive and not just a domestic environment, but a worldwide environment. And, the way Georgia's system works, the funds from our lottery go to early childhood education and the Hope Scholarship, which is a scholarship for students who want to seek higher education in a state institution.
Um, but why are they making up this stuff about? Is she? I guess she's that much of a threat with that much potential to win. They have to make this stuff up. Is that the case?
Well, it's politics, and most people don't fact check, and that's why I'm glad that we've got media outlets like yourself that pride themselves on what true journalism is.
hmm
But most people just look at an ad or get a flyer and unfortunately go to the polls with the last thing that they heard. Shame on us. So many folks not just bad, but still have criminal records from marching and protesting for women and African Americans to have the right to vote and to even not vote or to vote without a level of conscience just based
Right.
on something that you saw on TV. It's just it's really shameful to our ancestors. And when we look at having some children that were born, in '08 and were welcomed into a world with the first African American president. We should be on a upswing for education and progressiveness, not on a downswing.
So there's already been some early voting. Do we have any idea how the early voting's been going, Brother Gordon?
Well, from what I understand, early voting in a primary is doing quite well. We've got an uptick of about 38% from what it was 2 years ago. I think that's a good thing, but it doesn't mean that you can still catch that shoe sale at the mall and not go to the polls. I mean, we need you there, and I think that former Minority Leader Abrams will take the minority ticket. I'm not the minority ticket, but I'm sorry, but the Democratic primary ticket, and I think we can take it in November. And although making history is important, I think at the end of the day, it's electing somebody that's going to have the best interests of Georgians at hand. And I have no doubt saying that Stacey Abrams is not that person.
Uh, uh, Folks, we need you to vote Stacey Abrams. And if I'm not mistaken, is it Friday? This coming Friday, that's the last day for early voting?
Yeah, this coming Friday, and then you've got all day on the 22nd, which is a week from yesterday.
What would you say as a member of the House, Brother Gordon? What would you suggest to a Governor Stacey Abrams that she tackle on her first day in office for Georgia?
Wow, that's a tough question. I mean, obviously, education and healthcare are just paramount, and I think that you could have philosophical arguments on, which one of those two is most important, and then third, I think would be, transparent, equal economic development that everybody participates in. Unfortunately, we're still in a state heavily guarded by a good old boy system where men and women, don't have opportunities to really be treated fair, to play on the same platform as other taxpayers. So I think healthcare and education would be my first two suggestions, and then I would say legislation that creates the most transparent, competitive economic development and environment, not just for bringing opportunities into the state, but for people who are already here in the state and want an opportunity to grow themselves.
Indeed, indeed. So, folks, last day for early voting in Georgia is for everybody knows somebody in Georgia. And we invite you all to call your family and friends that you may know in Georgia. Tell them to get out and vote this week, and to also vote on primary day, which is a week from yesterday. Is it next Tuesday? That's it, isn't it?
Tuesday, that's it. Yep.
All right. Tell us a bit about you, brother. What area do you represent in Georgia? What areas
I'm
you
down in the best part of Georgia. Of course, I'm biased. That's Savannah.
Okay. And are there any particular issues for Savannah that are important? I mean, you mentioned healthcare. Is that an issue in Savannah?
Yeah, I mean, I think Savannahans, are like everybody else in our fair state. We want a fair and equitable opportunity to compete on the business level. We want access to quality health care, not just health care. Some of my colleagues will, it's a difference between accessibility to quality health care and just health care, period. And we want education. We want education starting at age 3 up into at least a bachelor's level that I think could be completely paid for by the state. And I think that there's enough mechanisms within our government to make sure that happens.
Yeah. All right, folks, and we invite you to go to Stacey Abrams. That's Stacey with an E, StaceyAbrams.com, to make your donations. Small dollar donations work. They work. They help. And she needs all. That's right. They sure did. And work for Bernie. That is necessary in order for Stacey Abrams to win, and this is me talking, not the campaign, not Representative Gordon here, but I think there is an agenda and an element, even within the Democratic Party, that is trying to undermine this black woman, if not other African American candidates as well, because they saw that an African American was able to get nominated and win. And the trajectory is only up. We can have a woman president. We can have a black woman president. And some folk just don't want that, y'all. I'm going to be honest with you, even within the Democratic Party. And so, people taking these shots at Stacey are terribly out of order, and we need to push back against it. We invite you all to support her. Call people in Georgia. Tell them to vote for Stacey Abrams before Friday in early voting or on next Tuesday. Brother Gordon, are you up for re-election right now or no?
I am.
How's your campaign going?
Well, I'm unopposed, and
okay, so you good.
And so that is I think the best way for an environment like this. We've got so much going against the leader, and just want to thank the citizens of Savannah District 163 for having had faith in me for going on 6 terms. Matter of fact, myself and Leader Abrams came in together. This is going to be my last go round, and I wanted to make it count by being able to do whatever I can to get her as governor of our fair state.
So why is this your last go round? You're retiring from the legislature?
I am. I think it's just I've done all that I can do. I think at this point, and I want to lend the opportunity for others to be able to serve and bring some new and fresh ideas to the state. And it's been a great opportunity. I've seen the state grow little by little, more progressive. But I think it's just kind of time to do something else, and I'm definitely fortunate for the opportunity.
State House Representative J. Craig Gordon with us, folks. He's running for re-election. Before we go, let's get a quick call. And Jesse's actually in Georgia. Jesse, what part of Georgia are you in?
I'm from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
All right. You on with Representative J. Craig Gordon, State Representative J. Craig Gordon? What's your question or comment?
My comment is this. On the TV ads between Stacey Abrams and Stacey Evans, now they're fighting each other, okay? And I don't see Republicans doing that. And then when whoever comes out on top in November, the other person, people are not going to support that person. Just like Bernie and Hillary. I mean, I get sick and tired of Democrats, and we just always do that kind of stuff. But you take Brian Kemp, you take Casey Cagle, they're not fighting each other. They're talking about guns here or illegal aliens here, you know what I mean?
So what's your reaction to that, Representative Gordon? Is this primary battle going to be that harmful?
I hope not. I think the two women had a great relationship beforehand, and I think that once the smoke clears, that relationship with some help from others, if that's even needed, we'll get back to where it was, if not even stronger. I will say I agree with the caller, but I think I've even noticed the tone on the Republican side as we get closer to the 22nd, getting a little bit more contentious, even with them. So I think that's just kind of politics at its best or at its worst, however you want to look at it. Is par for the course. But I would like to see that the morning of the 23rd, there's some coffee and donuts being had in a room with no more than 2 or 3 people, and an olive branch is extended, and an alliance is a progressive alliance, is formed from there until November, because both ladies, I think, in turn are going to need each other, and I think he raises a great point. We don't need another Bernie and Hillary scenario. We need to come together, and I think that when you look at it on paper, they probably agree, just by being progressives on 97 to 99.9% of how they think the direction of the state needs to go. So I'm not even thinking of them not working together as an option.
Jesse, you gonna vote for Stacey though, right?
Oh yeah, ain't no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I just get tired of shoot ourselves in the foot. That's all. I hate that.
Well,
That's that.
I don't get that impression. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, Gordon, but what I've discerned from some of the negativity that her Stacey Abrams' opponent has put out there, it's hurting her opponent because Stacey is so widely respected. I mean, some people you just can't go after like that without cutting your own nose off to spite your face, and that's kind of what I'm seeing when I talk to people from Georgia. Am I right about that, Craig?
Yeah, and I haven't looked at the polls to really see how each person's ad is going up or going down. I will say this: I've been proud of the Abrams campaign because even when the negative ads have come at them, they have not attacked with other negative. It's really just been explaining the untruths, the misnomers that have
Right.
been talked about, but not counter punching with anything negative. It's more been a block defense kind of, no, that's not the truth, and this is the truth versus
Right.
that, and then compiling with another negative. So
Yeah.
I've been impressed with that.
All right. Jesse, thank you, man. We got to keep our heads up, keep our eyes on the prize, brother. We need to vote for Stacey Abrams. That's all there's to it right now. We'll make up. We'll kiss and make up when it's time. But
I got you.
tell everybody you know. Are you talking to people and telling everybody you know going to vote?
Everybody in my church, all my sisters, brother-in-law, everybody's voting.
Because Georgia got the numbers, man. We got the numbers.
Oh, yeah,
Freedom is in our hands. If we register, black folk get registered and go out and vote, we've got the numbers in Georgia.
That's what you're right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right,
Jesse, thank you for your call. J. Craig Gordon, thank you, brother. Good luck to you and all that you do. And thank you for coming on and endorse Stacey Abrams and give us the latest on the ground down there. Okay, my brother?
I appreciate it. And thank you again for just good, honest, transparent journalism. Not getting caught in all this other stuff going on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, my brother. Take care now. All right. Folks, I just want to let me just put a finer point on this. There are those in the Democratic Party who fear that Stacey Abrams, once she's elected governor, that she'll run for president of the United States. Huh?
Sorry, I'm trying to parse why that is a fearful thing.
Oh. Because there are those who are afraid that the party may not have any interest. The rank and file of the party may not want to nominate another plain old white bread, white male anymore. Let's be honest with you. Now, folk got mad at me. I lost friends because some of my friends ain't too bright. All your friends ain't smart. But some of my friends got angry at me because I said right before 2016 that there may not be another white male nominee for president again in the Democratic Party. I didn't say that because it was my desire, per se. I just said that was becoming obsolete, and people may not want to vote for that anymore. So some of my white male friends completely fell out with me and stopped speaking to me. And then they went and drank from the Russian cup on Facebook. Russia. They fed into every negative Russian ad that came out about Hillary Clinton. And some of those folks still haven't changed. So they are threatened by Kamala Harris. Let me say, I'm going to just point this out to you. I'm not going to name no names right now. I'm going to let you do your homework. Figure this out. Every person that has attacked Stacey Abrams has attacked Kamala Harris. And every person that has attacked Stacey Abrams and Kamala Harris has attacked Joanne Reed. Oh, what do Joanne Reed, Kamala Harris, and Stacey Abrams have in common? I'll leave that for you. Y'all think about that in the car on the way to work. Y'all see if y'all can figure that out. Huh? What do the three of those women have in common? And what have we been saying about what they have? What did the three of those women have in common with the most loyal demographic in the Democratic Party? The demographic that voted for Hillary more than any other demographic. The demographic that votes for Democrats in general and Democratic women more than any other demographic. And up to this point, the demographic that has voted most for white men nominees in the party over the years. What demographic is that? And see, you know, we can go back for 2016. White men, Democrats running for president. John Edwards might have killed y'all off. Can you imagine if he was running now with that drama in this era of Me Too and Time's Up? The point is not that white men are useless, progressive white men are useless and no good. It's that you all have raised your voices finally at a moment when women's voices are now being heard. Women are willing to stand up. Women want to be heard. Women want to be seen. Women want to govern. They're no longer interested in staying in the shadows, staying in the background, hiding out somewhere, letting y'all do all of it. Ain't no more Barbara Bushes. Somebody felt like I was saying that was not nice to Barbara. I'm not saying that to put Barbara down. I'm saying Barbara was a victim of sexism. That's all a woman could do. Could no woman in Barbara Bush's generation aspire to be president? Are you serious? Why couldn't Eleanor Roosevelt have run for president? As popular as she was, as powerful as she was, she couldn't run for president. And we know why. Barbara Bush couldn't have either. That was my only point. And all I said was if she had, maybe she wouldn't have been as destructive as her husband and as her son. But I'm not going to tell you. You're going to figure this out. Call me. 866-99-SERIOUS, 866-997-4748. What do Kamala Harris, Joy-Ann Reid, and Stacey Abrams, and Joy-Ann Reid ain't even running for Congress or president, what do the three of them have in common? And what do they have in common with the most loyal demographic in the Democratic Party? And why is that a bad thing? White male progressive candidate comes out and gets black women to fall in love with him. Then, we singing a different song. Maybe you do have a shot, but that's the key. White woman progressive candidate. Hint, hint. I know one not too far from here. Needs to understand that too. The road to the Democratic nomination in 2020 and beyond is through what Kamala, Joy-Ann Reid, and Stacey Abrams have in common, and what that most loyal demographic of the Democratic Party has in common. What is it? What is that thing that they have in common? All right, let's take a break. Sirius XM Progress 127, Resistance Radio. Get woke. Get ready for impeachment. Vote Stacey Abrams. StaceyAbrams.com. Oh, my God, what are you doing? Call somebody. Send some money if you don't live there. $3. You got $3 a day. Send us $3. Send us some money. Primaries Tuesday. Early voting ends Friday. Sirius XM Progress 127, Resistance Radio. Get woke. Get ready for impeachment. This is MI.